Alright guys, so we're here at the UK Games Expo talking with Strata Miniatures and Sarah about this amazing project which is Dungeons and Diversity. I got it right, I didn't twist my tongue too much there. So Sarah, could you talk us through the project and sort of how it came to be and what you've got here to show at the show as well?
Yeah, so last year I released the first version of what is the combat wheelchair rule set to be used with Dungeons and Dragons, a homebrew rule set. And Strata Miniatures, usually they do stuff behind the scenes. They do a lot of prototyping for people's Kickstarters, and they reached out and were like, hey, we really want to actually actively be forward in the community more and make more things and have their own range, and diversity was born, and they reached out to me and said, hey, we really want to make your combat wheelchair miniatures, because at the time they saw a lot of flack that I was getting from the community, which has improved since, and yeah, so this was our first wave here, and there were like the first 4 classes, and then there was our second wave over here, and we actually spoke to Team GB Paralympians for the Ranger to make sure that the chair was right, even just like the amount of detailing that goes in there, and this is our new wave, and we have a con exclusive in the middle, the Bard, and yeah, so they reached out and asked and said, we really want to do this, and they support our charity of choice, which is the Ayla's Dan Loss Support UK, and we have raised almost 11,000, I think, so far, because 25% of profit goes to them. And that's kind of how it all came about, really.
Yeah, it's really awesome seeing this stuff come to life, and I remember seeing the initial concepts and everything that had come out, and then reading through the rules that you'd done as well, and I thought it was a really nice breath of fresh air for the D&D community to have something new and interesting to dive into, and also something that was representative of a lot more people as well, so the people felt like they were included, which I think is always really fantastic. How did it feel when you start to see the sort of wheelchair combat stuff move on to things like Critical Role and that kind of thing? Was it cool? I know I've been nervous, but
it was very cool, but it was like very surreal, because my experience was, Matt Mercer suddenly followed me and then messaged me, and I was like, what's going on? And he was like, hey, I love your rule set. Here's a character I've made. I've passed it through some disability consultants and they approve of it. I just want to see if you approve of me using the rules. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, sure. So that was how Dagon Underthorn came about. Yeah. And it's still surreal now. Like, you see people making like fan art of the character, and I'm like, oh, that's my chair. And actually, Matt bought and painted one of the miniatures, which is the big barbarian over there, the dwarf barbarian. That's the one he used for Dagon. So we refer to that as our Dagon Underthorn mini now. And seeing Matt do that was great, really, because like it kind of put it at the forefront of people's minds in the community and what we need to discuss about disability and stuff. And he also really greatly shut some people down on Twitter who were being really mean about it, which was really cool of him. So yeah, having people who have like a really large reach be so supportive is doing so much to help change perception of disability, chronic illness, and neurodivergency in the community.
So the miniatures themselves, are they available in both resin and metal, or is it just metal, or one or the other?
The ones we have here are just metal. They're a pewter alloy. We've got a couple of the blow-ups which are in resin, and I believe on the website we do resin and metal, and we also have the files so that you can just buy the file and 3D print it yourself if you have a printer.
Fantastic, fancy, weird sci-fi stuff there. So yeah, if you're interested in picking up some of these Dungeons and Diversity miniatures, what we're going to do is come and find Strata Miniatures at UK Games Expo. Come and dive in, check out the miniatures themselves, some amazing painted versions, all the lovely metal ones there as well. Come and check it out. It looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm glad that it's part of the D&D universe, as it were, now. So it's all very cool. So yeah, make sure to come and check these guys out, and I will be back with another video very, very soon.